Now, if we factor in mobile search with this, we're seeing around, on average, 60 to 70% of all searches are now done on mobile devices. So ignoring mobile in the first place, really bad idea. But on top of that, mobile users tend to make their decisions from that 3-pack of results. They tend not to go any further down the page. They're just looking for a quick answer, right? The Google Business makes it very easy. There's a button there to call. There's a button to visit the website. And now they've even got a button there where you can actually chat with a business live immediately, which is huge for any business. So you definitely don't want to ignore the mobile side of things. So let's talk about the biggest changes recently with Google Maps. They reduced it from 7 results down to 3, and they're always playing with this number, right? It's always changing. But now, instead of having 7 opportunities to be on a search page, there's only 3, right? So it's become more competitive, but getting in there is going to be huge for you. Google is also serving paid ads in these map results. So there's actually an opportunity for you to have a 4th listing in that, what we call the 3-pack. There's an opportunity for you to get a 4th listing in there with paid ads. So in theory, you could actually show up 2 times out of the 4 results in the map area. And we have clients that are doing that, and they're seeing great results from that. So that's very interesting that they're starting to show ads in that particular area as well. It's very critical that you complete the verification process. We'll talk a little bit more about that. And then make sure that you have the ability to get reviews, and the reviews are now requiring real Google accounts. So that was the case years ago. Then Google decided you didn't have to have a Google account in order to leave a review. Then they backtracked on that idea. And now anybody who leaves a review for your business has to have a verified Google ID in order to leave a review on that system. So some big changes that they've made, but I think they were all really good. I did want to kind of focus on a couple things. I couldn't find an old screenshot of what Google used to look like for window treatment companies, but I found a plumbing one. So what used to be the case is we had a couple ads, then we had a couple, well, in this case, a lot of ads, a couple organic results maybe, and then what we called the 3-pack, or now, at the time it was the 7-pack. That is no longer the case. Now you're stuck with just, 3, a couple ads, and then the 3 results. Now, there are some things that are really important here that you need to know. When you are setting up your business name, make sure you're filling in your business name and not some other spam keywords. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but the impact on overall search results is huge. Now, again, I'm using a plumber example here because there's something called home service ads. And you may have seen these ads when you've done searches in your area for some home services. They have not rolled this out for the window treatment and awning industry yet, but I want you to be aware that it's coming. And these home service ads are pretty cool. They're right up here at the top. They show your reviews, and you can scroll across on this list and pick somebody out, engage with that business immediately. So that is not available to our industry yet, but it's coming. Next, obviously, is the ads or the paid ads, and then the Google My Business area, and then finally the SEO. And if you're just doing SEO, look how far down the page you are. So it's very important that you're using the entire digital dominance method that we talk about in order to have more eyeballs on your business, of course, and more opportunity for those leads. So that's kind of crazy that how far down the SEO stuff is pushed. And it also speaks to the fact that mobile users are tending not to go that far. They're making their decisions from here, or if the home service ads show up on their mobile device, depending on the search, from that area as well. I should also mention here something called banner blindness. And we've seen this, 20 years ago when the internet was just kind of getting started. We always had these banners at the top of all these web pages. And after a while, what people found out is that people were just naturally skipping those banners and going straight to the meat of whatever that page was about. Google sees the same thing with the Google ads. A lot of people tend to just ignore this because they know it's the ad area. What they don't realize is that the map area can have an ad in it as well, potentially, but they're scrolling down past that ad area. So just having ads running and no other strategy, again, not the best idea. Now, I think I mentioned all of this. The organic listings tend to be pretty far down the page. And the other thing with the organic listings is you are sometimes competing with things like Angie's List, Yext, Yelp, different business directories, that kind of stuff as well. So this just showed up this week, and it's only showing up right now for plumbers and only in certain areas. But check this out. The 3-pack looks different. I had a friend that sent this over to me just this week. Typically, Google does these different tests, kind of test things out, sees how it looks. So instead of the map being above it with the three pins below it, they're putting the map to the right and then putting the 3 listings to the left. So it takes up a little bit less room, which does move, your organic listings up a little bit. But it'd be interesting to see if that rolls out or not. That's just something that we saw this week. Here's an example of how it looks now. You can see that the map and then the 3-pack below it. So we'll kind of see how that impacts in the coming weeks as well, if they even roll it out, right? Also, something that should be on your radar is fake Google business listings. Now, Google says that they've reduced these by 70% since 2015. And this is a cute little map there, or thing that shows you so. But I'm not 100% sure it's true. And this is an article I found dated June 20, 2019. And it's from Wall Street Journal. So, I mean, it's a legit publication, but there are still a lot of these fake accounts out there showing up. So, it's still something that's going on. And then we've got things like this, people that are putting in business listings that maybe aren't correct. This company was found, they're not really called Oceanside Movers. And additionally, they've added additional keywords here, what we call spam keywords, that they're not supposed to put here. You're only supposed to put your business name, right? So that's very important, that you only have your business name when you list your business. So a couple things here that could be hurting your overall rankings. I mentioned a couple of these in passing now, but you definitely need to have an office in the city that you're wanting to target, right? You have to have a physical location, unfortunately, or you have to have a physical location because they're going to send you a postcard to verify you're really in that area. You can set up a service area, like a circle around Seattle or something like that. But you have to have some location where they can mail something to you. Make sure you're not spamming fake locations. Some businesses try to put 2 or 3 locations with 2 or 3 different addresses when there's really no location there, no business at that location. Very important that you don't do that. Inconsistent name, address, and phone number in your profile. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. We call it the NAP, or name, address, phone number. We'll talk about that. Spamming your city. So if your business is called, Bill's Window Treatments, you don't put in a business name that's Bill's Window Treatments in Seattle, or something like that. It might get you higher rankings in the map system, but it also might get you kicked out of the map system. So you definitely don't want to do that. And then we also should definitely mention reviews. Reviews are huge when it comes to this. We'll talk a little bit more about that as well. Reviews, obviously, one thing that are very difficult to get, right? So our proven formula to get into the 3-pack works like this. One thing you need is obviously to claim your business profile, to have what we call citations, getting those reviews, and then doing some on-page SEO related to your website so that your website is sending back those positive signals and those signals that match up to your location as well.